Welcome to the Football Today show as we continue our journey through Euro 2024 in Germany. I am your host, Alex Donnelly, joined as always by the stats guy, Liam McAllion.
Oh, up and about, Alex. There were some crazy results overnight, so excited to get into it. Let's go.
I don't know if we'd call them crazy.
What do you mean crazy? There was a lot after the 90th minute. That's pretty crazy.
I mean, England won and Spain won, as we all predicted. And joined by Marcus Bazzano. Pour one out for Marcus, his beloved Italia.
Yeah. Stunk
up their joint on Saturday night, and they are on their way home with their international tournament record, other than Euro 2020, being really bad.
Yeah. Got to admit, that was pretty poor. Definitely not worth staying awake for. So,
No.
Yeah, didn't sleep well after that.
Yeah. Now, before we get going, make sure you subscribe and like on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up there. Follow us along at all the podcast places, Spotify, Apple, there's like Google Podcasts, whatever else. Wherever you get a good podcast, we will be there, as well as Instagram. We are back on Instagram at Football Today AU,
yes,
as well as Facebook and, of course, TikTok. So we'll get the boys doing some clickbait during the week to get us banned once again. Shout out to Social Girl Spence doing her job before Social Guy Leo makes his return. We will be in the studio for the rest of the tournament. This is our last Monday home preview / wrap-up. So back in the studio for the rest of the tournament. All right, boys. We start off with a yeah-no on the Football Today podcast. I was going to have a yeah-no about Spain being the team to beat, but Marcus beat me to it because...
We could do both. We could do both if you want.
Yeah, all right. Firstly, are Spain the team to beat?
Yes.
Yes.
They've been the best team, the best powerhouse nation so far in this tournament. Yeah. Although they cruised past Georgia, which you'd expect them to do throughout the group stage. They were very impressive.
But they are smoking everyone that they come up against.
Yeah, I'd say I'm a big as well. You got every other team has had a little bit of a blip, or likes of England have had a lot of blips. But then you got Germany had a random loss. You got Italy out. Just the big team. The only big team that's going really well is Spain. They're so clinical. I don't see a problem with their team at all. They're just awesome.
Germany doing a job too, but Spain definitely the team to beat. And then secondly, Marcus put in there, was Jude Bellingham's goal one of England's best ever goals? Yeah, nah. I'm going to say nah as a goal itself, but for importance, yeah.
I think I'll put it up there. I'm going to say yeah, just because the fact that he's pulled out a scissor kick in the 91st minute when a lot of people would be tired, he just put it straight in. Oh, sorry, 95th minute, my bad. 95th minute, just unbelievable. I'm gonna say yeah on that one. Just the importance of that goal, like Alex said, and just to finish it and have the thought to do that type of goal. Not many players can do that, so I'm gonna go. Yeah. What are you going, Marcus?
He's an absolute freak. It's not England's best ever goals, but it's definitely up there. I think Gazza's up there. Beckham's free kicks up there. So
true.
There's definitely some great goals from England in the past, but are they more important than that one? Possibly. I think it depends if England go on and go deep in the tournament.
If they go deep in this tournament, and then that obviously gets them over the line, that'll be talked about for a long time, I think.
Yeah. All right, let's get to some news before we get into the rest of the show. Mackenzie Arnold, she doesn't have a club. She's left West Ham. They couldn't agree to terms on a new deal, so Mac is like, peace out. I'm out of here. Very interesting, giving Mary Earps has also left Manchester United, obviously the England shot stopper. She's off to PSG, as we talked about last week. Very scathing in her Instagram farewell, if you read what Mary Earps said. Mackenzie Arnold a bit more. Hey, West Ham's cool.
She got the West Ham Player of the Year, I'm pretty sure, Mackenzie Arnold. She's a captain. I was a bit surprised, but then she probably can go to a bigger team. I know we'll talk about it, Alex, but apparently the rumours are Man U to replace Mary Earps. So.
Well, Man U wanted her in January, apparently, so there is interest going back there. But I don't know if that's the right move, given the way behind the scenes Manchester United are going, given they're kicking the women out of their recently refurbished performance centre and putting the blokes in there. There's a bit going on there, and you can tell that by Mary Earps' comments. I just want to know if Harper Gorrie was consulted on this decision by Mackenzie Arnold. That's all I really care about.
I agree. I think they would have sat down with her in the boardroom and sort of.
And the response would have been, why Macca? And I would have signed the contract then and there.
Yeah.
And finally, before we get into the games, everyone's cheating the PSR. It's totally fine. It's just fine. I'm having an existential crisis as an Arsenal fan going, it's cheating. Why aren't we doing it? Because it's technically legal.
Yeah, everyone sort of was like, trying to get different money in different ways.
The same like Chelsea sell Ian Marston to Aston Villa, and then they buy some dude who's like stats guy for £20 million from Aston Villa. It's like, this makes so much sense. Same with Newcastle selling that dude this morning, who I've honestly never heard of. for a reported 35 million euros or pounds, whatever it is. And
Crazy.
funnily enough, just enough to get them out of PSR trouble. Like, this isn't slightly dodgy at all, is it, Marcus?
Yeah, there was definitely a gentleman's agreement between Chelsea and Villa because Lloyd Kellyman was the player that Villa let go, 19 million. I think
So
that was I think that's going to be a discount for John Duran, who's also going to come to Chelsea from Villa. I think so. I think that's going to be
he's a good player,
cheaper.
I think.
But there was definitely a gentleman's agreement because it helped both clubs out with PSR. And Amari Hutchinson also left Chelsea to Ipswich. Ipswich record ever signing. And then Chelsea are going to make
Arsenal get 15% of that sale, so happy days.
Chelsea are going to make their 50th signing of the window as well by signing Dewsbury Hall from Leicester.
He's a decent player as well, but we're probably going to pay too much for him.
It's just like Chelsea legitimately just play Football Manager. It's fantastic.
There's always a loophole. There's always a loophole.
And apparently Haley Razzo to Arsenal, Marcus, or stats guys just thrown in the run sheet.
I don't know about that, Marcus.
Yeah. Chuck that in. Heard the rumours yesterday. Haley Razzo to Arsenal, join the Aussie gang at Arsenal.
That'd be great.
Would love that.
Forward one wing, Razzo the other, Catley at wing back with Cooney Cross in the middle. So good.
That would be pretty cool, to be fair. She deserves to have minutes. Yeah.
I don't think that Razzo is the right player for Arsenal, given all the players that they have on their wings. She walks straight into the starting 11, but given their structure and depth, I don't think she's the right player. But anyway, that'd be cool to see. Maybe Manchester United for Haley Razzo, given there's been a bunch of players leaving there. Anyway, that's enough of the news there. We will talk about that as we lead up to the Olympics. Football today will turn into the Fan Tildas podcast. Let's get into the games. A round of 16. Marcus, your beloved Italy. Well, they're going home. They lost.
Switzerland. See, Italy, cop that from an Aussie fan that you absolutely cheated in the early 2000s. What was that, 2000?
Stats guy, you were like 3. Get over it.
I don't care. I still hate Italy. They cost us...
Switzerland 2, Italy 0. First time the Swiss have won a matchup against Italy in a knockout stage since 1993. That's wild. Honestly, Granit Xhaka just went, hey, I'm just going to boss this game, and absolutely dominated. I do love that the Fergie boys, the AKA old Manchester United players, are like, oh, when's Granit Xhaka been good for? It's like, for the last 3 years, bro.
He's
like,
been great.
Paying attention. And Marcus, take us through it. This is you.
Yeah, well, obviously stayed up to watch this crap, so Italy was shocking.
Let it out, son.
The lineup was horrendous in my opinion, and just the tactics were really poor. Like, Granit Xhaka did dominate, but I think it's fairly easy to dominate when there's no press on the ball. And Italy just couldn't hold 3 or 4 passes together. The Swiss's press and juxtaposed to Italy's was fantastic. So they definitely deserve to go through. A couple of really quality goals from the Swiss. And look, they play England in the next round, and you know what? Fancy an upset here.
Yeah. Well, I tipped Switzerland in this one. I think they could roll them. Italy and go on a bit of a run here. They've made it out past the round of 16 in 2 straight Euros. They don't have the best build-up to tournaments, and then when they come into the tournaments, they're like, yeah, we're pretty good. We're pretty good in these big games. Almost double XG to Italy as well, which proved what Marcus was saying about they just created so many more chances. And this could have been even worse if Donnarumma wasn't an absolute freak. Same as last game. Italy was saved by Donnarumma. Donnarumma made some awesome saves, a few fingertip ones into the bar, into the post, and then Switzerland were just too classy. Love watching them.
Yeah, I know that the young Italian team, like the under-21s, under-19s, they're actually going all right at the moment. So
they're winning trophies. Yeah.
You've just got to clean out these dudes that are over 27, 28. It just seems like it's time for a massive reset within football as far as a national team goes.
Yeah, there's no Andrea Pirlo anymore. There's no Del Piero. There's no Paolo Maldini. A lot of it is just sort of, lower European players. Like, obviously Sagagni scored a great goal, but he's playing his club football at Lazio. There's no real superstars in the Italian team. Probably, arguably, Donnarumma, and that's about it.
And
a lot of people said, "Is this it's Italy's worst ever side?" And it might be up there.
Yeah, it's up there. Germany 2, Denmark 0. Germany just like, I don't care about thunder, lightning, and rain. We're still going to be clinical. This is awesome. The Germans, what do you expect? They're efficient. They get the job done. Musiala scores once again. Manchester City's probably going to buy him for 300 million in like a month. It's fine.
He's such a freak.
He's so good, honestly.
He's such a freak. Most Euros goals ever. Second most Euros goals ever by an under 21-year-old since Wayne Rooney as well. So he's just killing it.
Is he potentially the player of the tournament so far?
Ooh,
no.
In terms of, he's always got
I
4 goals.
I think you got to pick someone from Spain. I think probably
bloody
Rodri or Fabian Ruiz. He's been killing it. So but he's definitely up there though. Definitely up there.
It'll just be sort of dependent on which team makes the final as to who probably wins the best player of the tournament from this side of the draw, because it's no one from England. Absolutely not. Look, Denmark weren't bad because they had that goal ruled out for offside that was by an inch. And so this is, I see a lot of people yelling and complaining about this, but he's offside. It's the rule. You are offside. Don't complain about it. It's literally black and white. If you are in front of the defender, you are therefore offside.
Exactly.
Offside, simple as that. Move on. Like I don't get, like, Ange Postecoglou was yelling about it. It's like, are you serious? You're a coach of one of the biggest clubs in England and you're complaining about this. It's literally the rules. Like, it's not that hard to understand.
Look, I get where they're coming from though, because it was literally a bee's and how good is the technology to confirm that it was actually that 1 or 2 centimeters?
It's 2024.
That is the other argument.
That's the other argument. It's like, how good is the technology? And I think it goes to the fact where we're trying to rule out goals rather than celebrate them. But it is black and white. If it's offside, it's offside, and it was. So I'm not sure why the Denmark manager in the post-match press conference pulled up his phone and showed the offside call, because I don't.
It was still what? Yeah, I think everyone's sort of looking at it because in the past that type of goal would have gotten through, because you've obviously got the view of the player, the ref and things like that isn't as good as that 1 or 2 centimeters from VAR.
But this is why the semi-automated offside thing come in.
Yeah, so it was fine.
You have these things.
We'd rather black and white than not knowing, or an argument after when looking at photos. It was there. We'd have to move on, unfortunately, for Denmark.
Just remember, lads, Garnacho was onside at the Emirates.
Also, I love the Danish fans were dancing in the rain when it was pouring off the stadium at where was it? At BVB's Dortmund Stadium. It was just awesome. So great to get around them. Yeah,
we didn't talk about that. There was a 20-odd minute delay, given that all that went on. And then you had the Snicko handball. I don't know. Okay, so it's a handball. It's obviously a handball. Again, the chips in the ball, I don't know how they can tell. It's something that we're just going to have to get used to. It's like, it's not in cricket, which, we've had, it feels like we've had Snicko for like 15
ages.
years.
Yeah.
But I don't know how it's happening in football. But anyway, it's something I suppose we're going to have to get used to if these Adidas balls get used worldwide. Because Nike don't have the technology yet. So, yeah, anyway, handball, Kai Havertz scores. Germany go through 2-0. It's just, I don't know.
I don't get the use of Snicko and wasting all those millions of dollars to put them in the ball, because, look, the only reason for Snicko, you can tell if it's obviously touched someone's hand because the ball's going to deviate. Why need Snicko? You're only going to need Snicko if it lightly brushes someone's hand, and then like again, are you seriously giving that a penalty?
It's going to happen once in a million times, but then you really give it a penalty if it brushes the hand.
It's the rules. It's touched your hand. It's a handball. So if I'm yelling about the offside thing, I suppose I've got to be on board with this. Anyway, it's one of those things.
They deserve to win in the end, Germany, but Denmark probably deserved at least 1 goal.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's get to this morning's games. England 2, Slovenia 1. So I checked the score when I woke up, and I'm 2-1. Yeah, but okay, England have won. And then I look at it, and it's like 90 plus 5 for Bellingham and 91 Hurricane. Like, it took me like 35 seconds to like tab it. Oh, they've scored like really late then in the first minute of extra time, because my head just was not on it at 6:30 this morning. Slovakia were really good. Like, they will be sitting on the team bus right now going, lads, how did we lose this one? Like, they were very dangerous early. England were an absolute mess defensively. And then when Slovakia did score that goal, they were very stout defensively. I know that Phil Foden put the ball in the back of the net, early in the second half. But once again, Phil Foden, like, honestly, you know when the monkey's playing the cymbals like this? I think that's Phil Foden's brain sometimes because it's the second time he's been offside. It's like,
Get onside,
I'm going to do it. Phil, stay on side, pal. Stay on side.
He wasn't offside for the first goal.
No, but he was
the first time
offside.
he was
There was a goal that they scored in a previous game that he was offside in.
Yeah.
that was the previous player on the wing.
Anyway, they need to get onside. They need to get onside in those goals. They were all over them watching the highlights. Slovakia. They had so many chances. Yeah, the goals they got were when England players were pushing up too high. They try and do a little header across and try and be a little bit too sneaky. Then Slovakia would just get the ball and have so many shots. They could have had a couple more goals and then it would have possibly been a draw or even they would have won. So unlucky for Slovakia, but then some insane finishes by England. That was unbelievable.
We're sort of skimping over. Like Slovakia were very good. There was a couple of shots. Like Declan Rice had an awesome shot that ricocheted off the bar. Kane missed the follow-up. Gareth Southgate also needs to be tried for crimes against humanity, playing Bukayo Saka at left wing back and right back through this game too. Like honestly,
don't know about that. What is he doing?
He started his career there.
Yeah,
yes, that's because Arsenal were 8th and going horrendous. It's like, I've got this gun. Let's just throw him in and see how he goes.
Yeah,
he was 16. It's a bit different.
Yeah, I think. Look, you got Kieran Trippier at left back. Luke Shaw is possibly the worst selection of all time, and
he's not fit. And Tony Gustafsson there, Gareth Southgate.
Yeah,
I know. So Slovakia, in my opinion, should have gone through.
Well,
they definitely had definitely had the chances, and
England obviously scored
first shot on target. I think that's what you're going to say, Stats Guy.
I was going to say exactly that.
Was Bellingham's overhead kick in the 95th minute. So
that's the thing that comes down to how they're playing at the moment. We said they're boring. A lot of their fans have fallen asleep in the pubs and things like that. Their first shot on target wasn't until that 91st minute. Obviously, awesome finish. One of the best finishes you'll see in a game when you got scoring 2 goals after the 91st minute. Like we don't want to talk down that because it's England.
Yeah,
but really bad. You can't rely on that. No way. Especially an overhead kick by Bellingham.
We've sort of died on the hill throughout the tournament that Phil Foden is the one that doesn't fit. And once Phil Foden came off, that's when England actually looked all right.
Yep.
Maybe next game you start Anthony Gordon on the wing because it just isn't working. I know that Declan Rice has had his 15th midfield partner for the tournament already, but he was phenomenal. I thought Jude Bellingham was just okay. Harry Kane, I know he scored in the first minute of extra time. I thought he was average. I thought he's been bang average all tournament. Yep. Tony was really good when he came on. That flick on header back towards the center of the goal that led to Kane scoring was great. He also won the free kick in the lead-up. He also tried to put one through the roof of the net, but also kicked it out of the stadium in the last minute. Cole Palmer was all right when he came on too, but it's just like, once again, England defensively are a mess. A good team will pick them apart if they do end up, getting towards the latter stages of this tournament. They've won, great. They're happy. If they win the tournament, they'll be like, who cares? We won the tournament. But they are
look
right
like
for a
that level.
smashing.
They don't look at that level. And then you talked about Anthony Gordon. He'll play if he doesn't fall off his bike again. I don't know if you guys saw that. He's got half his face is like grazed. He's got this big graze on his chin. Just stay away from the mountain biking. Anthony Gordon, what are you doing, mate? You're trying to get in the team, and he's falling off bikes.
Slap some training wheels on that, I reckon.
Too good in the end.
Also, Jude Bellingham screaming. Who else after he scored that goal?
Did he do that?
He is very quickly becoming somewhat unlikable.
Yeah, I don't like pet players that are doing that, mate. You've done one thing all tournament. So
there's arrogance, which is great.
Yeah.
Right? Like you kind of need that to be the best, amongst the best players in the world, which he has been in the last 12 months. But, I mean, look, you're playing for your nation, and it's if anything, it's sort of disrespectful to those players.
Disrespectful to Slovakia even, yeah.
So do you think like someone like, so obviously Arsenal fan, you guys are Chelsea fans. If Bukayo Saka scored, he would have run to the corner and done his normal celebration. Yeah. Cole Palmer, if he did it, would have done the chilly shoulders, but he wouldn't have been screaming, oh, who else? It's
no.
I don't like it.
Bit of Balotelli vibes about it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Especially when you've done this after being horrendous for 90 minutes and it's an equaliser. If it was a winner, fair.
Yeah,
not an
fair call.
Anyway, Slovakia stiff. Well done, England. You're through. Woo. You're going to probably get bounced out by Switzerland next week. Anyway,
I think so.
Spain 4, Georgia 1. Georgia scored first through an own goal for the 37th time this tournament, it feels like. And then Spain went, okay, now we're going to play and just rip them apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were solid at the start, obviously getting that goal, Georgia, but then you just knew it was sort of like some of the games earlier in the tournament where you just knew Spain were going to be too clinical. They've just got so many players. They don't, a little bit similar to Italy, not as too many stars, but there's all these guys that are playing their role really, really well.
Hold on.
Oh.
You're saying that Nico Williams, Rodri.
I'm saying Rodri is a superstar. Rodri is definitely a superstar. No, in terms of world football, in terms of their club, I'm not saying they have too many stars compared to Germany, compared to a few other teams. That's all I'm saying. Compared to England and compared to Germany, I think this Spanish team is just working better as a team compared to having stars. That's all I'm saying.
Because they don't have a legitimate striker, and you've got Cucurella playing on the left, but Carvajal's a freak, Pedri, Rodri, Ruiz in the midfield, and you've got Yamal and Williams on wings. It's like,
I know they're all freaks, but they're not in the top echelon. Yeah.
Like Williams isn't great.
No, he's just playing well,
special, but Yamal is an absolute baller. He's going to be an absolute freak. Was he, 19?
He passed his exams, by the way. Well done to him.
Yeah, he's got his exams at the same time.
He had to do his HSC or whatever.
That is unbelievable during the Euros. That's crazy.
But the own goal was the only way Georgia was going to score, really. They didn't have a shot on target the entire match. Spain had 35 of their own.
Oh my God, I just realised that. 35 shots.
Possession.
It was always going to end one way. So Spain through. I'm not sure who they play in the next round. But look, they'll be
favourites against whoever they're playing, like by a fair way.
They play Germany.
They're awesome.
Oh,
really? That is the game of the tournament so far. We might have to watch. When is that?
So England play Switzerland in the next game as well.
I'm loading up on Switzerland. They're going to win that.
We'll get some odds courtesy of a certain bookmaker. Maybe I can agree with that.
Spain.
While we do that,
Germany haven't lost an 8, so
that's going to be awesome.
Let's get into the round of 16 previews, the last 4 games. So we will be back Wednesday morning after these games to preview then the quarterfinals, which come up over the weekend, and then we'll be back for the semis, finals, and so on. Anyway, France take on Belgium. This could be really boring given how both teams have played, but it really should be a cracker given the attacking prowess of both teams, also how stout defensively they are. France have won the last 4 between the two, and they have only won 1 of their last 6 Euro games, the French. They are not going good.
No. They're the one team that everyone thought was going to go all the way, and they've just been really disappointing. But Belgium have been a bit lesser than France. So I'm going to lean towards France here. I think they'll click into gear. They'll get some confidence in this one. They'll be like, we can smash Belgium, then we can beat some of the other big teams. And I think they'll go on their way from here. So I'm going France. Mbappe is going to score a couple of goals. He's going to finally fire up.
Yeah, I reckon this is the game where Griezmann finds himself on the score sheet finally.
Griezmann,
because look, I know Wout Fass had a great game in the previous game, sort of keeping Ukraine to a clean sheet. But look, when you got a centre half pairing of Wout Fass, Vertonghen, and you got Castagna on the right,
it's slow.
Great. When Vertonghen's still your starting centre back at the age of 37, playing for Anderlecht, so for a number 3 ranked team in the world. So France should win this, I think, pretty easily, in my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't see Belgium scoring. They've been really disappointing in front of goal.
Yeah, 3-1 to France.
Okay, I'm going 3-0.
Yeah,
Portugal take on Slovenia. Slovenia have beaten Portugal before, so good for them.
Ooh.
But it is their first ever knockout match at a major tournament, so good for Slovenia. Look, they've got a puncher's hope, but really, the way we've seen Portugal play in the first 2 games, they had the cue on the rack in their second game. This should be Portugal rolling through, you would think, if they can get everything right up front.
They were a bit average against Georgia. Obviously, that 2-0, like you said, Alex, they were already through, but that's a huge worry just coming into that next game and finishing off at the group stage. But surely they get this done. Slovenia might be a little bit overawed by the knockout match, and they've just got too much class, Portugal. I still think they got a chance of going all the way, but they need a big win here for that confidence booster.
Yeah, I think it'll be a bit tough because Portugal have big, hard tough centre backs to play against.
Yes.
And that doesn't bode well for Slovenia's front line. So, look, I think Portugal, again, should comfortably win this one.
Yep.
Cool. Romania take on the Netherlands. This looks like to be the biggest mismatch of all of the round of 16 games. Stats guy's got the stat here. Go for it.
No, Marcus does. He's beat me 1-2, I think. Well, I didn't write this one.
Come on, stats guy. Not even doing your job, mate.
I put in some other ones, so he's put in this one.
Netherlands have lost only 1 of their last 14 against Romania and lead the aggregate 29-3.
29-3.
So
is that going to be the score today?
Scores a hat trick. Let's go, baby.
Can we have a 29-3 just in this game? Just Netherlands absolutely romp them. To be fair, Romania have been pretty solid, haven't they? They've had some really good wins. I don't mind them to. Could they get a sneaky draw and get this into extra time? What do we think, lads?
Look, I think Romania can make a game out of this.
Yeah.
But I still think Netherlands will win 2-0, 2-1. But it won't be as convincing as previous meetings. That's for sure.
All right, stuff it. I'm going Romania to win this in extra time or penalties. I think they can hold on for like a 1-1 draw. Their team plays really well as a team. I know they don't have the big stars, but Netherlands have looked pretty average. I'm going 1-1 headed into extra time. Why not? Come on, Romania.
Gerald, please write that time code down and get Social Girl Spence to cut that up as Stats Guy's big call of the tournament.
Come on.
And finally, Austria take on Turkiye in the final game of the round of 16. Look, Austria beat Turkiye 6-1 earlier this year. Ralf Rangnick has this team absolutely balling at the moment. They are the best team that's gelling at the moment, not as in the greatest overall team, but I think they are playing such good football. I think they'll walk through this and win this 3-0.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it will definitely be a convincing win because I'm not sure Turkey kind of have the firepower. Look, they did progress, but were they great? I'm not sure. They scored some. They scored some good goals against lesser nations, but Austria have been that much better than them, which just all credit to Ralf Rangnick.
Yeah, Austria being clinical. Rangnick's just putting them together. Their passing has been awesome. Turkey as well. They did score a fair few goals, but a few of them were just worldies. They can't rely on a worldie from Gula in like the 90th minute in this one. They're going to have to score a few more goals than that. The way Austria are playing, I think they might score one, so I'm going to go Austria 3-1.
Okay, I like it. Don't mind at all. All right, that is the round of 16 done and dusted here at Euro 2024 via Football Today. We'll be back Wednesday morning to preview all of the quarterfinals. All 4 of the quarterfinals will be previewed here Wednesday morning, and then we'll be back the following Tuesday to preview the semis, and then the Thursday for the final. Have a big breakdown of the final. We'll actually go deep and do some research. We'll do a proper job of this one. Before we go, please make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube. Give us a follow there as well. All that good stuff. A thumbs up on this video. Please also get around this podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get a good podcast. Also, check out AFL Today. The Round 16 wrap is out right now. Make sure you go check that out wherever you get a good podcast as well, or on YouTube. What else you got? Cricket today. The boys have got to wrap up South Africa doing what South Africa do best, choking in a major tournament. Yes. And then we will get across to what else? Hold All Tickets has one more episode left in the season. NBA Australia with free agency kicking in is going to be nuts. NFL Australia will be back soon because the season's coming up. A lot going on here at basically the Sports Today Network, which is what one of our things are on Facebook. Go check out Sports Today on Facebook. Get around all the social medias. Twitter, X, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. Thanks, Stats Guy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marcus.
Cheers, Alex.
Shout out to Gerardo, who spent the night sleeping in the studio because he was there when I left last night and he's still there right now. So what a champion he is. But Football Today will be back on Thursday as we wrap up the round of 16 and preview the quarterfinals.
If you like this show, make sure you check out all the other shows on the Sports Today Network, from the AFL Today Show to the Cricket Today Podcast, the Football Today Podcast, as well as NBA Australia and NFL Australia. With Sports Today, your sporting needs have never been easier to cover.